Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me for another installment today. Very excited about the content of today's video because it is the return of the Peeps Wax Pack here on the channel. So I recently received a care package from my buddy Peeps, and inside were these 4 Peeps Wax Packs. So for those of you who don't know or may have missed these when I've shown them on the channel in the past, these are just incredible. Peeps does up these custom wrappers for his sort of repacks of cards that he sends out as care packages to trading buddies or friends in the hobby. Does a great job with those. Very, very excited to be the recipient of another 4-pack of those. So we're going to get into some of those in today's video. But before we do, wanted to touch quickly on my promise to show a new Alex Ovechkin card every time he lights the lamp this NHL season. So since we last left off here, the Capitals had a pair of matinee games over the weekend. They had a Saturday and Sunday tilt, both of which I think puck dropped around like 2 p.m. Eastern. So some early day games for the Capitals, and Ovechkin responded well. He had an empty netter in the Saturday game, which, you know, they all count, goalie in there or not. And then in the Sunday game, he opened up the scoring with a nice first period goal for his team. So 2 more goals for the Great 8. They draw him within 10 goals now of Jaromir Jagr for 3rd all-time on the NHL scoring list. So that means I have to queue up 2 new Ovechkins here on the channel that have yet to kind of see the light of day. And they're going to follow the theme of this card that we see in the background. So I've shown this one off on a previous Ovechkin video. This is the 2017 O-Pee-Chee Platinum, and it is the red prism parallel, which of course looks great with the team color matching Washington Capitals. And as is the case every year for red prism, is serial numbered out of 199. So got a lot of feedback in the comments when I showed that one in the past, and rightfully so. And today, to celebrate the 2 goals over the weekend, I'm going to continue that little tradition and run of Ovechkin parallels. So we have the 2017 here, and was fortunate enough to pick up earlier this season via Sport Lots the 2018 iteration, which features Ovi in the road whites here of the Capitals. But again, you know, an equally beautiful looking card. They all have this sort of like snake skin or fish scale effect, sort of like the prism with an SM baseball cards out of Topps Chrome, and our red tinted, nice rainbow effect. And again, as is the case every year, as I mentioned, numbered out of 199. So got the 2018 to pair with that 2017 to celebrate the Saturday goal in that matinee. And then to go along with that, to celebrate the Sunday goal, of course, have the 2019 O-Pee-Chee Platinum Red Prism Ovi. As with the 2018, scored this off Sport Lots, and as with the 2018, was under 10 bucks. Was earlier this season. I don't think you're going to see many more of these at that price point, so really grateful that I reeled in these 3. I'd love to someday expand my Red Prism Ovechkin run. Haven't seen a 2020 yet at a price that I'm comfortable paying. You know, haven't gotten these for around 10 a piece. The 2020s that I've seen out there have been more like 30 or 40. But who knows? I'm going to just bide my time, stay patient, and maybe at some day in the future I'll be able to kind of expand this run even further. But for now, there is a trio of Red Prism Ovies. Nice little run there. Those are going to look great all in a row in my Ovechkin Z folio. So congratulations to the number 8, and love seeing the success. You know, as we near the halfway point of the season, he may be the front runner for the NHL MVP right now, which is, you know, exceeding even the lofty expectations that I had for the guy. So it's an exciting time to be an Ovechkin fan and collector. And with that out of the way, let's get to the Peeps Wax Packs. Now, I'm going to probably split these into 2 videos. I've already gabbed 4 minutes about Ovi, and I tend to be long-winded. I want to keep this relatively short, so let me pull out 2 for today. I'll save the blue, my favorite color, and the Premier Edition for another video that'll be posted here in the near future. For today, of course, let's get into the red. That's, you know, very, very appropriate for the background that we have up, so we'll leave that there. And in the meantime, we will tear into this blue. Baby blue, sort of. So yeah, these are great. I've done these a few times. I really appreciate it, Peeps. a ton of effort goes into creating these wrappers. They have that feel of the wax paper that was used in the 80s and early 90s that I remember ripping into as a kid, and sort of a fun way for Peeps to repackage his cards. Try to open this carefully. I do preserve my Peeps wax pack wrappers, but you can see amazing job here, just super creative. Love the retro design. And of course, as is always the case, you have 1-of-1 odds of finding cards inside of here, which I appreciate. And the wrapper tastes like paper and toner and is not recommended for chewing. So I have so far traditionally followed the advice of Peeps on that front. I have not tried chewing any of my wax pack wrappers, and I don't think today will be the day that I go there. So let's see what's in this first pack. And right out of the gate, we have a very strong card that I love, 92 Topps Jack Clark, pensively sort of sitting in front of the green monster. Just a super memorable card. I know Clark is better remembered with other teams, but this photo always stuck in my mind. Just adore this one. I love any cards that prominently feature my personal favorite ballpark, and especially so when they get the green monster into frame. So that is a winner from the Junk Wax era to start us off. Next up, we have Shane Victorino, the Flying Hawaiian, on a Pinnacle release. Here's a Daniel Nava, 2013 Topps. He hit a very memorable Grand Slam, I believe in his first game, but always like this design with the, base path down here in the lower corner, and then the sort of the outer border of the card almost represents like the outfield on an overview of a field. I've also heard this back in my card blogging days referred to as like the sea turtle set, which I think is genius. You can really see like a sea turtle there in the lower corner if you use your imagination. Next up, we got a Rick Sarone. And this must be either a dupe for Peeps or, maybe he's got a better catcher card than this with the same number, because I know he is a connoisseur of catchers, and this is certainly a fantastic catcher card right here. So happy to accept that one, Peeps. Thank you. Here's one from my first ever and favorite to this day set because of that, 1990 Topps. Never get sick of receiving those. Nice Wes Gardner, card number 38. And we got a nice gum stain as well. So that is killer. 2018 Topps Heritage here, Chris Sale. One for the team set. And then similarly, a 2016 Topps Heritage Hanram. I've mentioned this before, but was very surprised at how abruptly his Major League Baseball career came to an end. Back to the 2018 release, here's a Craig Kimbrell. So these Heritage cards are great. I sort of accumulate Red Sox team sets out of Heritage every year, so I will certainly be, at the conclusion of this video, sort of merging the cards from these packs into my collection and seeing what I need, which I believe is most of them at this point, other than maybe that 90. Here is a Kyle Weiland out of Extra Edition. You got some nice foil here. Funny quick story about him. He's one of those guys that I remember came up, it was probably the late 2000s, early 2010s, and had a couple of really successful starts for the Red Sox, including a notable one against the Yankees in the Bronx. And at the time, I kind of thought, hey, this guy's sneaky good. He may be a really good starter for years to come in the league. That didn't really pan out. He sort of crashed back down to earth relatively quickly, but just one of those guys that I have memories of on that front. Here's a neat one. So Peeps, I've mentioned on the channel, and I've probably mentioned it, in private conversation with Peeps as well, but Whit Merrifield is a guy I'm a big fan of. He just rakes in the hits and the steals, sort of a scrappy, top of the order type of guy. Just really enjoy him. And in addition to that, I really like the Big League release. Someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but unfortunately, I want to say Topps canceled this set after just a couple of seasons, but I knew a lot of collectors that really liked it just because it was sort of a low-end, cheap price point set with great photography and a simple design, some cool like colored parallels. Really enjoyed that, but I think Topps has killed it off, but did not have this Whit, and very happy to get that one. Here's a 2020 Donruss throwback to Roger Clemens. This looks like it's based off of the 86 design, sort of a nod to the 35th anniversary maybe of the 86 Donruss set. Pretty cool one there. Here's a Tim Naring out of early 90s Leaf. So the 90 Leaf set, I remember, was a huge deal when that came on the scene. I think this might be a 91 or 92. Yeah, this is a 91 Tim Naring. And next up, we got a Tom Brunansky, 1990. And what's cool about this one, it is from the traded set. That brighter card stock, and of course 15T is the card number. So this is the card that sort of symbolizes Tom's arrival from the St. Louis Cardinals. And then we close it out with a 92 Joe Hesketh. So we had bookend 92 cards in that first pack. So pretty awesome stuff there. Thank you, Peeps. And now let's get into the red pack and see how we do here. Jack Clark over here. Yeah, if you haven't, while I crack this open, if you are not familiar with Peeps and his YouTube channel, please check the link below. Give him a visit. Definitely one of the good guys in the hobby. Super knowledgeable. Great approach to collecting. Very fun videos. Very impressive collection when he gets into his Peeps pickups and kind of showcasing some of his collection outside of his pack rips, which I really appreciate the variety there. Just a stand-up dude. So please do me a favor. If you're not familiar with Peeps for any reason, please head on over there. Tell him Shoebox Legends sent you, and be sure to say hello and check out some of his videos. Okay, so here is the red pack to go along with those beautiful red Ovies. We got a Tim Lawler out of the gate. And we got a sleeved card in the middle of this pack. So maybe a Peeps Wax Pack hit here of some sort. We got a David Price out of 2019 Heritage, this would have been. Here's one of these multiplayer cards that were famous from the Fleer releases in the 80s. Grady Hall and Mike Roachford. Got a minor league card here of the Sky Sox, Danny Schaefer, the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. So not familiar with them at all, but I love it. Minor league cards are definitely something I adore. Here's a Rick Aguilera on mid-90s Top Stadium Club design. Love Stadium Club. It's really not a bad set that they've ever put out, in my opinion, under that name. There's a Mike Greenwell score. I've seen him on a few channels, perchance of late. Guy who a lot of people thought was destined for Cooperstown when he broke onto the scene. Didn't really pan out that way, but still a fan favorite here in Boston to this day. Tony Fossis on early Stadium Club card here, 92. Wondering if this one is miscut. I don't recall a lot of Stadium Club cards from this release where the nameplate was so far over towards the middle of the card. I thought it was usually closer to the edge, but maybe they bumped it in there just to kind of fit his foot in frame. I'm not sure, but a cool one there. And then check it out. Here is the sleeved card, a Prism 2000 of Nomar. Check out the background there. Man, this is fantastic. Definitely, I would say the highlight of these two packs for me. I love Shine, and I love Nomar Garciaparra. Peeps knows that about me on both counts. And just look at the glorious work here by the folks at Pacific. They did some really wild stuff with their cards back in the 90s and early 2000s, sort of the Wild West of cards there. And they produced a lot of their sets, this one included, at a time when I was not actively participating in the hobby. So I kind of missed out on a lot of the Pacific run. And as a result, I do not have that card. I'm 100% positive. And that is just a fantastic Nomar to add to the collection. So huge thanks to Peeps for that one. Let's finish off the rest of the pack here. We've got a Josh Taylor rookie from 2020. We got another copy. We got dupes. Peeps Wax Pack dupes. We got Mike Roachford here with Grady Hall again. We've seen this one before. A smile here on Mike Roachford that only a mother could love. There it is. Cool stuff there. Here's a nice Wade Boggs baseball MVP from Fleer. I believe this is from one of those like box sets that were super popular at the time. Arguably right up there with Tony Gwynn, the best hitter of the 1980s as a decade, and one of the best hitters in the storied history of the Boston Red Sox. So awesome card there. Didn't have that one either. Here's a batting leaders card that Hanley Ramirez just barely snuck onto, but still sort of making my point that he was performing at a very high level when his career just sort of abruptly came to an end. The Red Sox released him, and I was just astounded that nobody else signed the guy. And then the very last card in the red pack here, beautiful Terry Francona, the man who, in my estimation, is the greatest manager in the history of the franchise. And I'll actually be reusing this one for an upcoming video response that I'm putting together. So perfect timing on that one. Fantastic stuff all around. Huge thank you to Peeps for taking the time to put these together and send these awesome cards to me in such a creative manner. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will certainly be back in the very near future with a lot more sports card content. Until then, take care and enjoy the hobby.